The ice storm had been raging for 3 days when the dragon child appeared at Alex's door. He'd been hunched over his workbench, calibrating the thermal regulator that kept his small outpost hab from freezing solid, when he heard the scratching. Not the wind. Something deliberate. Something alive. Alex grabbed his plasma cutter, more tool than weapon, and approached the airlock. Through the frosted viewport, he saw her. Scales the color of winter sky, no taller than his waist, with wings folded tight against the cold. Her golden eyes were wide with panic. "Sir, Mama didn't come home." Her voice crackled through the intercom, words halting in broken Terran standard. Alex's hand hovered over the release. Dragonkin didn't come to human settlements. Not since the partition treaty had divided Glacialis into sectors, theirs and ours, fire and ice never mixing. But this was a child. He opened the door. She stumbled inside, frost crackling off her scales. Up close, he could see she was shivering, something he'd been taught was impossible for her species. Dragons generated internal heat, burning hotter than any human furnace. But this one was barely warm. "How long have you been out there?" Alex asked, kneeling to her level. 2 days, maybe 3. Her claws clicked nervously on the metal floor. "Mama went to the old mines. Said she'd return before darkfall. She didn't." The old mines. Alex felt his stomach drop. Those tunnels had been condemned decades ago, back when the first human colonists had tried to extract Glacialis's rare minerals without understanding the planet's unstable thermal layers. Hundreds had died when the excavations triggered geological chaos. The Dragonkin had warned them, but humanity rarely listened. "What's your name?" he asked gently. "Jennifer." She pronounced it carefully, like she'd practiced. "Mama said, if ever I needed help. Some humans are kind." Alex looked at the storm raging outside. The temperature had dropped to -60 Celsius. Even his survival suit would struggle in that. And he'd be going into dragon territory where humans were forbidden. The penalty was exile, or worse. But Jennifer's eyes held the same terror he'd seen in his own sister's face, years ago, before the ice took her too. "All right, Jennifer," he said, standing. "Let's go find your mama." The journey was brutal. Alex suited up in every layer he owned. Thermal underlayer, heated vest, exterior shell rated for extreme cold. Jennifer led the way, her natural heat sense guiding them through the whiteout conditions where his instruments failed. She moved with desperate urgency, occasionally looking back to make sure he hadn't fallen behind. They crossed the invisible border marked only by ancient stone cairns, dragon territory. The landscape changed subtly, the ice formations more deliberate, almost architectural. This was land shaped by beings who understood the cold intimately, who could breathe fire to sculpt frozen cathedrals and crystal spires. In summer, it would be breathtaking. Now, in the storm, it was a maze of shadows and screaming wind. "There!" Jennifer pointed with one trembling claw. The mine entrance yawned before them, a dark mouth in the ice. The emergency markers were still visible. Human warnings, faded but readable. Danger, unstable, do not enter. Alex pulled out his portable scanner. "The structure's compromised. One wrong move and—" "Mama's inside!" Jennifer darted forward. "Wait!" Alex grabbed her wing, gently but firm. She whirled, and for a moment he saw the dragon she'd become. Fierce, powerful, protective. "We do this smart, or we both die, understand?" She hesitated, then nodded. They entered together. The tunnels were a graveyard of human ambition, rusted equipment, collapsed supports, frozen bodies still in their suits from that long-ago disaster. Jennifer's bioluminescent scales provided eerie light as they descended, following the faint heat signature she detected. 3 levels down, they found her. Jennifer's mother lay beneath a collapsed beam, her massive form wedged in a junction where the tunnel had given way. One wing was bent at an unnatural angle. But her eyes, ancient, knowing, flickered open when she heard them approach. "Jennifer." The dragon's voice was a low rumble. "You shouldn't have come." "Mama!" Jennifer rushed forward, pressing against her mother's scaled chest. Alex assessed the situation. The beam was titanium alloy, probably weighing several tons. He had cutting tools, but using them might destabilize the entire section. They needed leverage, and they needed it fast. The dragon's heat signature was fading. "Jennifer," he said carefully, "I need you to listen. Your mother is trapped, but she's not badly injured. The cold is what's killing her. Can you generate flame?" "I'm too young. Too small." "Not asking you to melt the beam, just asking you to keep her warm while I work." Understanding dawned in those golden eyes. Jennifer positioned herself against her mother's chest and began to glow, heat radiating outward. It wasn't much, a child's flame, weak and wavering, but it was something. Alex worked quickly, using his plasma cutter not to slice through the beam, but to heat the ice surrounding the structural supports. Water expanded when it froze. If he could melt it strategically, create just enough space. The work took hours. His suit's power reserves dropped dangerously low. His fingers went numb inside his gloves, but slowly, incrementally, the beam shifted. "Now!" he shouted. "Pull her out! Now!" Jennifer, understanding beyond her years, grabbed her mother's forelimb and pulled with all her small strength. Alex added his weight, and together, human and dragon working as one, they dragged the massive creature free. The mother dragon gasped. Drawing in deep breaths, her body temperature began to rise, metabolic furnaces reigniting. "Thank you," she managed, looking at Alex with those ancient eyes. "You risked everything." "So did your daughter," he replied. The storm had passed by the time they emerged. Dawn light sparkled off 1 billion ice crystals, turning the world into diamond. Jennifer's mother could fly again, though she'd need time to heal. But before they left, she lowered her great head to Alex's level. "The partition was made in fear," she said, "but you've shown me perhaps there's another way." Alex thought of his own lost family, of years of isolation, of walls built between peoples who shared the same frozen world. "Maybe there is," he said. Jennifer hugged his leg, the most human gesture he'd ever seen from a dragon. "Thank you, sir," she whispered. He watched them fly away, two shapes against the morning sky, and felt something warm kindle in his chest. Not heat, hope. Perhaps on this frozen world, humans and dragons could finally come home to each other.